Hi everyone, we're back at the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center for the Lifestyle Hour. I'm joined with a very familiar face here for folks who know art in the city. Bert Crenca, thanks for coming in today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, Kate.
Founder of AS220, doing so much in the arts community here, has done so much, and we're here on Way Boston at 90 Way Boston. If you go up the street, just past the arcade, you'll see some of Bert's newest work that he was able to put up through the Avenue concept. Again, this public art. If you know the facade that's been there for quite some time, Philippe Lejeune was the first artist to do public art there. Bert Crenca is the second. You've got art on both sides of it, and we've done a little picture slideshow that we'll attach to this after so you can see it, but you've got to come see it for yourself. So when they reached out to you and said, hey Bert, we want to make sure we want to hook you up to do the public art here out on Way Boston. What was your thought when you saw this space and what you wanted to do with it?
Well, the images of these figures, I've been working on creating 6-foot images like you see there, that are kind of caricatures of different types of people. The idea for me is to do 100 of them at 6 feet. And it seemed like the most obvious thing because I work in a variety of series and a variety of styles simultaneously in my studio. And those seem to be the most appropriate for that space. The way they're framed within those alcoves and stuff seem the most obvious to me, and I want to bring attention to that work. So it's been a pleasure. I have to say that it was challenging because I haven't done those that large. Those are over 12 feet high. So it was a bit of a challenge, but it's been a blast. It's been a ball working downtown, interacting with people. It's a financial district, so there's a lot of different interesting people that I've been interacting with, so it's been fun.
Yeah, we came over, got some pictures, because you got to check it out. It looks great. I mean, again, you had the building there, but it really just adds so much color. I mean, it's unbelievable. You had all the little paint swatches there the day I went by. I mean, how did you decide what color paints you were going to use?
Well, the Avenue concept has a relationship with Adler's Hardware, and Harry Adler has developed these paints. He's actually one of the developers of this particular brand of paint, which can be the intensity of the pigment and stuff, and the concentration is amazing.
They are vibrant.
So they told me all I had to do is to create a palette for myself, and he would match all those colors for outdoor paint.
Okay.
So based on the work that I was planning to put up there, I created a palette, a bunch of swatches, gave it to Harry, and he matched them perfectly. And so that's how that palette was created. Yeah.
So I saw you on the street, and you said it was great interacting with folks. What was folks' reaction when they saw you there on the boards with your paintbrush? What was the interaction with folks on the street? I'm sure it varied.
Well, the most typical question and most common question was, oh, are these somebody in particular? That looks like so-and-so, that looks like so-and-so. And these works are intentionally not portraits. There's some mashup and there's some references. It would be a lie not to suggest that the woman with the afro doesn't in some way reference Angela Davis, but it's not a portrait of Angela Davis. My thoughts was I didn't want to elevate any one particular individual, and I think that's part of the problem in our culture is the kind of creating heroes and the disappointments that sometimes come with that and all of this kind of stuff. The idea is this series reflects a lot of different types of people throughout the world. They're all looking straight forward. The idea of eye contact. I think these are things we need to be thinking about as the way things are unwinding right now, our culture.
Again, formed AS220 back in 1985, 30 plus years ago here. What is the state, in your opinion, of public art here in Providence? You see a lot of great building sides that have some great work. A lot of times the Avenue concept's involved with it. What is the state here in 2017? Are we doing well? Could we do more?
We can always do more. I think the Avenue concept is doing a phenomenal job. AS220 also commissioned a number of murals. We were responsible for about 3 murals that went up in town. I think, one of the things that the Avenue concept has done is brought in international artists as well as supported local artists like myself. And I think that combination is the magic, so that we as artists and as a community get to be exposed to all of this sort of international work, at the same time not overlooking the talent and the people that we have here locally. And I think they're doing a great job of it. I think, the city, the Department of Agriculture and Tourism is doing great stuff. They're under-resourced, they're understaffed. There's so much more we could be doing. I think that the governor should double the budget of the State Arts Council. It's a pittance. It doesn't even show up. but the return, the transparency associated with the way that money is spent is remarkable. So I think there's a whole lot more we can do, and I don't think there's enough credit given to what the art and cultural part of Rhode Island and Providence in particular has brought to the table in terms of making this an inviting place and a cool place to be. Providence has a very, very high cool factor. I didn't know that I would be saying that 25 years ago. That was the hope 30 years ago, 35 years ago. The answer I expect from people who are new in town now is that they love it here, and that's the most common thing. New students coming into town, people moving in to the city, and I ask them, how do you like it? You've been here 6 months, you've been here 3 months, and they always say, I love it. And the art and culture part and the choices, the variety of things that you can do on any given night in the city is absolutely remarkable. And if you're from the outside, you know it. We got people in the suburbs that still are timid about coming into Providence. I don't get it.
Come on in, check out Bert's work by the arcade again. Great, beautiful, bright, vibrant artwork there right on that facade. So let's just back it up a little bit. You said those are those 12 feet?
Yes.
Those are 12 feet. The last exhibit that we went to see you, Molly O'Brien was there, it was on a little bit of a smaller scale. The Pain and Such exhibit, we actually have a couple of those works here in the office, were very small, but that was a different situation. You were laid up, you had to do your craft.
That's exactly
and how many of those did you put out?
I did 60 some odd, I can't remember, 63 pieces I think. I was laid up in bed for 3 months with a back problem that was excruciating amount of pain. And I had to figure out a way. So I had all the materials set up next to the bed, and my wife was very supportive, and I drew 10, 11 hours a day. It's kind of what kept me sane during that process. And then we showed them, as you know, called Pain and Such, and we sold over half of the pieces, which was absolutely kind of unprecedented for me as well. So, and having recently sort of declared myself as just an artist and not an arts administrator, that was very reinforcing.
So speaking of being back to the craft of just being that pure artist, you've got an exhibit coming up called Coupling. Tell us a little bit about this.
So me and my wife, I'm not sure, we may have exhibited just the two of us together. We've been together for over 30 years. We've always had studios next to each other. We've certainly had influence on each other. And we're doing a show on Sutton Street. Jury, who has the Carpenter Street Gallery, also has a space on Sutton Street. Opens on October 5th. And it'll be just me and my wife. And it'll be a whole nother body of work that is not like the Pain and Such and not like these murals. So please come check out at the opening. Yeah.
We'll have links to that as well. Again, come check out Bert's new works down here in Providence on Way-Bosset. They're phenomenal, they're bright, they add so much here to the city. Encourage you to check them out. Check out the new exhibit coming up. Anything else in the hopper that folks should know about from Bert Crenca? Just keep tabs on you.
No, we're in conversations with other people about other shows. I look forward to finding a place to do the 6-foot drawings. Like I would like to show all 100. I have another series of work that's been going since 2002 that has 138 pieces. I don't want to break that up. I want to show all 138 pieces. So stuff's going to happen. Pay attention.
Stuff's going to happen. You're prolific. How many hours a day are you in the studio? If you're not on the street doing street art?
I work in my studio like a full-time job. So I work 8 to 10 hours a day, and often that's 6, 7 days a week. It's, I've set myself up so it's very convenient to work and very easy, and there's always multiple works that are in progress. So I work more than a full-time week.
Who's your inspirations?
Oh my God, endless. There is no artist from an 8-year-old drawing to, obviously in an early age, the Surrealists were very influential. Dali in particular was the first print that I had in my room. I wasn't really exposed to much art and music when I was young, but anywhere from Dali to Picasso to the Fluxus movement to the Dadaists, purely conceptual to the classical. So, you can talk about Michelangelo and Da Vinci, of course, plus I have Italian blood. I don't have enough choice.
It's ingrained.
But some obvious and some not so obvious. But right now, I have to say that young people and graffiti artists and a lot of the international mural scene has had a lot of influence on my work as of now. So I'm always paying attention and trying to absorb everything that comes across my horizon,
Do you think cities, especially Providence we can start with, are equipped to deal with those street artists who might be called graffiti artists or some call them vandals. Does Providence do a job? How do you incorporate that into the cityscape? Do you reach out to them and say, here's opportunities for you to do your art?
Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated question. I mean, these are kids who are looking for attention, that are disenfranchised and are expressing themselves in one way or another, creating an image for themselves. AS220 has an amazing youth program where we sort of direct a lot of kids into more formal training in art and music and things like that. I think the more opportunities that we can, there are other amazing youth programs in town that are New Urban Arts and Community Music, where all of these places, I think the more opportunity we provide kids to build their skills and give them opportunities to express themselves and have their voice and be recognized for it, the less you'll see of vandalism and that kind of thing. I mean, it's all about opportunity. Right. Kids want to be heard, you know, and they deserve to be heard.
Absolutely. Well, Bert, I so appreciate your coming in today. Again, the last time I caught you, you were literally there with the paintbrush. I'm just taking pictures.
That's right.
Well, again, we'll have some of those examples of Bert's most recent work here in Maybosset, but check out the links. Go check out his new exhibit coming up, Coupling. What can we expect from that? You know, we've got the 12-foot ones out here. We have the little small ones from Paint and such. What will you be putting on display at the Coupling?
There's two small bodies of work there. One is called Enigma, and they're more surrealistic and it's difficult to decipher intentionally. And then there's a self-portrait, which actually incorporates 4 paintings and a small sculptural installation that is about life. And you'll have to come see it to understand what I mean by that.
Is art inherently personal? Is it that personal reaction that each individual has when they see something? Absolutely,
and I think also the people that view it tend to project. So a lot of times when people stand around my paintings, I listen and they talk and generally they're revealing more about themselves than they are about me or about my artwork. But that's the beauty of art.
That's art.
That's what it's about.
That's fantastic. Well, we look forward to hopefully coming and bringing perhaps Coupling right to you, as we did with Paint and such, as we did with here on Maybosset. But Bert, I appreciate you taking the time to come in today.
Oh, thank you to Go Local.
We
thank you,
will
Kate.
talk with you soon. Bert
All
Crenca,
right.
we'll let you go around the corner. We'll come see you soon.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bert. Bert Crenca, the founder of AS220, dating back to 1985. His impact on the art scene here in Providence and Rhode Island is immeasurable, but you can see some of his latest work here on Maybosset, right by the arcade. Wish we could turn the camera around. We couldn't quite see it from where we are, but we'll include some examples if you didn't catch it the first time around. And we'll have information about his upcoming exhibit taking place next month. So stay tuned for more on arts and lifestyle and entertainment here.